Close your tired eyes and let the protective stillness of this room settle over you. You are entirely safe within this sacred space, away from the cold outside world. There will be no sudden disruptions, no loud changes, and no mid-roll ads tonight. Your fragile spirit is entering a harbour where no fresh rejection can reach you. I know the heavy weight of this empty space that left an ache inside your chest. Your heart feels fractured, your eyes are burning, and you are exhausted from pretending. I know this darkness because I am lying awake in this same room to survive. Tonight, the demand to look strong for those who broke your trust has vanished. We are locking the spiritual gates against the painful memories of what used to be. Let the steady cadence of the falling rain wash over the raw, wounded spaces. Your desperate battle to hold things together is over, and the night shield is active. The painful rejection has passed, your soul survived, and you can rest completely. Let us begin by acknowledging the sharp sting lingering beneath your tired ribs. Your breathing is recovering its rhythm after a long day of holding back sorrow. Your brain is replaying old conversations, trying to fix what you did not destroy. But the divine presence has stepped in, transforming this room into a secure sanctuary. The cutting words of those who walked away have no power over your future. Listen to how the cooling drops of rain against the window pane reject all urgency. The water falls without fear of being discarded, trusting the ground to catch it. Your exhausted emotional system is warmly invited to lean into this pure grace. The heavy illusion that you are permanently damaged is dissolving into the darkness. You are fully permitted to let the agonizing thoughts slow down at their own pace. Feel the comforting density of the midnight air wrapping around your aching shoulders. The defensive reflex to figure out why they left is losing its necessity tonight. This motionless moment is a reminder that the storm has spent its last power. The chaotic vibrations that broke your confidence are melting into the safe shadows. You do not have to piece your life back together tonight. Just lie here. There is a restorative medicine in realizing you no longer fight for someone to stay. No lingering echo of that separation can restart the fire under this divine canopy. Realizing your total safety is the most beautiful surrender your heart can make. You can finally stop running from loneliness and accept the reality of this room. The peaceful kingdom requires no effort from you, only your willingness to receive. Watch from a detached distance how your old fears try to maintain their grip. They whisper that if you open your heart to rest, the grief will consume you. But that is just the broken static of a soul forced to carry a mountain alone. You can breathe through that mechanism and know that the divine protection is here. The frantic alarms of your emotional survival system are turning completely silent. The deep, expanding ambient pads are smoothing out the raw spaces inside you. Where there used to be a suffocating knot of abandonment, a softness is spreading. Your heart is remembering its original design, beating in harmony with the night. You are wrapped in an absolute immunity from all human betrayal and hurt. The draining need to protect your own worth is melting into the peaceful night. Let the physical weight of your limbs confess how deeply you have been tested. You faced the shattering of trust and emerged from the fire completely whole. Within the unbreakable boundaries of this divine shelter, your only duty is to breathe. The air you inhale is pure, light, and empty of past regrets. We are leaving the shores of trauma behind, moving steadily toward peaceful waters. Let us focus your entire attention on the slow, natural rhythm of your breathing. The heavy, jagged feelings of being unwanted are losing their sharp edge tonight. You do not need to analyze the reasons behind their silence or their cold departure. The air in this quiet room flows organically, filling your spirit with divine grace. Every exhalation is safely releasing the poison of rejection from your tired blood. The terrifying illusion that your value was tied to their presence is shattering. Your heart is receiving a direct command from the Creator to define its own worth. You are no longer trapped in that suffocating space where your memories hurt. The protective night shield is filtering out the echoes of every harsh word spoken. Your spirit is remembering how to rest, sinking beautifully into the quiet dark. Listen to how the unhurried rhythm of the rain outside matches your stabilizing pulse. The dark sky is breathing with you, pouring out a stream of unconditional peace. The desperate fear of being forgotten or replaced is completely fading away now. It was merely a passing storm of the human ego, a shadow that has vanished. You are firmly anchored to the solid ground of reality, out of the enemy's reach. I know the cold, lingering numbness that tries to freeze your tired, aching heart. I know the exhaustion of a mind that has fought to be seen by those who left. But you are permitted to stop searching for their validation in this dark room. The divine watchman has taken over the guard duty, releasing you from your pain. Your only remaining task in this sacred hour is to let go and trust this room. Let the deep, expanding ambient pads dissolve the constriction around your throat. The air you breathe is cool, light, and free from the weight of their absence. With every moment that passes, the divine presence is rebuilding your boundaries. You are wrapped in an absolute sanctuary where abandonment is structurally impossible. The sharp, vibrating frequency of your past pain is being washed away by rain. Your active ego has officially surrendered its frantic need to change the past. It recognizes that the broken connection has dissolved, leaving only this quiet. You do not have to plan how to survive the morning or how to heal this scar. The future is hidden in God's hands, safely removed from your overstretched mind. You can leave the unwritten chapters of your recovery blank, trusting this stillness. Feel the comforting warmth returning to your spirit as your essence finds balance. The heavy, defensive walls around your heart are finally releasing their tight grip. You are no longer the victim of their choice. You are a protected child of peace. The long shadows in the room are motionless, mirroring the tranquility of your soul. The frantic machinery of seeking love has turned completely silent, at rest now. The continuous sound of the rain is creating a perimeter of isolation for you. It seals your room against the demands of the world and the pain of memory. You are hidden in a secret cocoon of grace where no human hurt can find you. The draining necessity to be loved by those who left has melted into the night. Your spirit is stepping away from the analytical intellect, moving toward rest. The residual stings of their rejection are growing fainter, disappearing into void. They are turning into meaningless, distant memories that cannot disturb your peace. The vast gates of a restorative, healing sleep are opening to welcome your soul. The divine fortress remains firm, holding the entire universe at bay while you rest. Your breathing is calm, your heart is secure, and the sacred stillness has won. Step completely over the threshold into this vast, quiet sanctuary for fractured souls. This is the one sacred room where your trembling spirit is instantly wrapped in grace. The lingering rejection that shattered your confidence has no authority in this space. The immense, loving presence of the Creator has driven the final shadows away. In this deep darkness, your fragile state is met with absolute, unconditional protection. the heavy, invisible armor you wore during that frantic struggle fall away. You do not need to prove your strength or hide your vulnerability from this silence. The quiet room accepts the broken rhythms and the residual pain in your chest. You are warmly permitted to be completely still, completely safe, and completely restored. The desperate need to shield yourself has ended, leaving only the calm reality of love. I know the terrible isolation of feeling like your own heart has betrayed you. I know how exhausting it is to watch your mind spin while the world stays quiet. But right here, in this shared stillness, you are allowed to release that burden. You are not required to monitor your survival tonight. Your safety is guaranteed. The strong walls of this sanctuary are holding the memories of pain far away. Listen to how the continuous, rhythmic falling of the rain validates your deep recovery. The rain does not demand any answers from your intellect, it just pours peace. Your wounded nervous system is absorbing this heavenly frequency of safety with every breath. The sharp, vibrating echoes of that sudden heartbreak are being washed into the earth. Where there used to be a tight knot of emotional distress, a softness is expanding. Let your consciousness drift like a weightless leaf down into the pool of grace. You are moving far away from the superficial fears and your temporary anxieties. The terrifying illusions of unworthiness that gripped your heart have lost their focus. You are returning to the original, pure design that existed before fear touched you. The infinite security of this velvet vacuum is wrapping around your weary soul. Watch how your remaining thoughts try to tell you that the pain will last forever. That is just the outdated, frantic programming of a soul that has forgotten rest. You can gently breathe through that fading mechanism, refusing to give it energy. The deep, expanding ambient pads are swallowing the last vibrations of internal shock. The space between your eyes is softening, releasing the invisible grip of pressure. Every slow breath you draw into your lungs is an unconditional gift of life. You do not have to fight for your survival anymore. You are sustained by grace. Allow the heavy gravity of the bed to pull the exhaustion out of your back. Your physical body is turning into a quiet channel for this soothing stream of peace. The boundaries of your skin are melting, blending perfectly with the quietness. The frantic urgency to heal your spirit before the morning sun arrives has dried. Tomorrow will handle its own complexities, and its events are outside your control now. Surrendering your need for absolute certainty is the ultimate medicine your heart needs. You are safe to let the unwritten chapters of your future remain completely dark. The peaceful kingdom of divine rest is opening its gates, inviting you inside. My voice is becoming a distant, warm echo that floats on your fading awareness. It is changing into a harmless part of the rain, a soft reminder of safety. The sanctuary is fully built. The fortress is holding firm, and you are protected. Yield entirely to the magnificent, heavy darkness that is calling you down to peace. The noise of rejection is gone, and only the quiet rhythm of your soul remains. The majestic night protection shield is now fully activated and floating directly over your quiet bedroom. This brilliant barrier of absolute peace completely isolates your resting mind from the ghost of fear. Any lingering thoughts of that sudden emotional crisis are softly bouncing off its defensive surface. The sharp, invisible arrows of your residual anxiety can no longer penetrate this thick perimeter. You are beautifully hidden away from the traumatic shock, wrapped inside a cocoon of absolute safety. Let the heavy shadow of that recent heartbreak dissolve into the continuous sound of rain. Your overstimulated brain has spent hours trying to find a reason for that sudden wave of rejection. But the midnight hour has officially declared a total moratorium on all your mental investigations. You are not required to analyze your wounds tonight in order to feel secure in this dark. My warm voice is standing as a vigilant guard at the gates, turning away every frightened thought. Feel the physical relief as the heavy, invisible armor around your chest completely uncoils. The constant, painful tension of trying to protect your own heart is leaving your quiet body. You do not have to hold your breath anymore. The dark gravity of the earth has taken the full weight. Your tired body is no longer an emergency zone. It is just pure, resting energy in God's hands. The bed beneath you is absorbing your exhaustion, sinking you down into a limitless, dark ocean. Listen to how the deep, expanding ambient pads are smoothing over the rough edges of your mind. Every slow, rhythmic breath you take is drawing the cooling essence of this sanctuary into your lungs. You are safely stepping completely outside of your human history, your fears, and your daily identity. The heavy expectations that the world placed on your shoulders are melting into the motionless shadows. There is no danger in this room, no one to watch your recovery, and nothing more to defend tonight. The desperate, anxious habit of monitoring your own breathing is losing its necessity in this darkness. You can gently drop the exhausting project of trying to fix your heart before the morning sun comes. The quiet world is spinning perfectly without your control, leaving you completely free to just exist. Your weary mind is warmly invited to leave the unwritten chapters of your future entirely untouched. The threshold of a deep, restorative sleep is right before you, waiting for your soft surrender. Watch from a safe, detached distance how your old memories try to whisper that you are still unsafe. That is just the echo of an exhausted nervous system that has been running on high alert for too long. You can look at that defensive mechanism with deep compassion and tell it that the shift is over. The heavy, loud machinery of your daily survival has ground to a complete halt in this stillness. Only the pure, untroubled silence remains, wrapping your consciousness in a heavy blanket of rest. The narrow, tight spaces inside your skull are beautifully opening up and expanding tonight. Where there used to be a sharp knot of emotional terror, a magnificent and safe emptiness is spreading. You are wrapped in an invisible cloak of absolute non-responsibility, a sacred vacation from pain. The constant, draining need to justify your existence through your strength is completely gone. Your breathing has found its own ancient, unforced cadence, synchronizing with the falling rain. Let the comforting density of the dark air settle over your face, releasing the tension in your eyes. Your weary jaw is relaxing completely, dropping the invisible mask you wore during that frantic crisis. You are no longer the active manager of your body. You are a silent passenger in this holy night. The demanding roles you played for society have dissolved into the vast and quiet texture of this room. You are allowed to be completely quiet, completely imperfect, and beautifully protected in this space. My velvet voice is growing smaller now, drifting far away into the rich, dark background pads. It is changing into a harmless, distant murmur that gently carries your spirit toward the deep void. The sanctuary is fully built, the fortress is silent, and your mind is completely free from judgment. Yield entirely to the magnificent gravity of sleep, letting the dark waters close over your thoughts. The long journey through the mental storm is officially over, and you are finally arriving home. The final boundaries of your analytical mind are completely softening into this velvet void. You are stepping off the last remaining shores of heartbreak and entering the deep waters. There is no longer an inner rejection to silence, as the pain itself has dissolved into darkness. The long, exhausting trial of your emotional survival has reached its absolute and permanent conclusion. Your spirit is beautifully weightless, drifting effortlessly into the wide arms of the night. Let the continuous, comforting rhythm of the rain take complete ownership of this quiet room. The wet drops against the glass are singing a dark lullaby to your weary nervous system. You have successfully laid down every single weapon, every defense, and every heavy memory. The sanctuary has completely absorbed your presence, leaving only the soft cadence of your breath. It is entirely safe to surrender your remaining awareness to this magnificent, clean emptiness. I know how deeply your soul has been crying out for this exact moment of total release. I know the beautiful relief of finally knowing that you do not have to fight to breathe tonight. The heavy rolls, the residual shock, and the exhausting adrenaline are completely gone. You are floating in a safe, warm vacuum where human fears have no meaning or power. The protective night shield is standing firm, sealing your consciousness in a capsule of peace. Feel the immense, dark gravity of the earth pulling you down into the deepest layers of rest. Your physical body has turned completely hollow, a quiet vessel for this soothing, ambient wash. Every muscle in your face, your tired jaw, and your eyes have completely given up the fight. The narrow, anxious spaces of your daily life are widening into an infinite, silent universe. You are perfectly anonymous, perfectly hidden, and perfectly ready to let everything go. The urgent need to understand or fix your wounded spirit has vanished into the shadows of the bed. Tomorrow remains a distant, unwritten chapter that cannot touch your profound stillness right now. You have paid all your debts to the daylight hours, and your soul is completely clean. Let the deep, expanding ambient pads submerge the last drifting fragments of your human thoughts. The line between your quiet mind and the beautiful night is fading into nothingness. My voice is growing incredibly small now, melting slowly into the continuous sound of the rain. It is changing from a conscious stream of words into a soft, comforting vibration of safety. You do not need to listen to the specific meanings anymore. Just follow the gentle rhythm. The fortress of your rest is unbreakable, and you are being carried away by a dark tide. The long, heavy journey through the mental noise is over, and your mind is resting. Sink down through the soft cushions of awareness into the dreamless, beautiful depths of sleep. Let the heavy, velvety darkness close completely over the last spark of your active intellect. You are entirely safe, unconditionally loved, and completely protected by this magnificent silence. The internal courtroom is empty, the judge is asleep, and the panic has vanished forever. Yield your entire spirit to the beautiful gravity of this endless, restorative night. Sleep. Let the deep, quiet waters of a perfect rest wash over your tired limbs and chest. Sleep. The rain will continue to watch over your room, holding the chaotic world infinitely far away. Sleep. Sleep. The night shield is active, and your mind is completely free from the shadow of judgment. Sleep. Lose yourself entirely in this magnificent, safe void where only peace remains. Sleep.